I thought Jalen played spectacular football. He's so smart. He is a guy who is developing in front of our eyes right now. He's getting better and better and better. Monday, Big Sil's National Football Show. Welcome aboard. And wow. You see, this is the beautiful thing about sports talk. And the people that put an opinion out. I am one of those people. And unlike many Philadelphia Eagle fans who have won the Super Bowl after the first 3 weeks, are ready to open checkbooks up for certain players. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. But I do want to talk about this, and I want to talk about some of the takeaways that I saw in that football game. There is no doubt that the Eagles dominated the Washington Commanders. Hey, appreciate it. Please, everybody, hit the like button. And I want to give you some of my takeaways, and I promise you I will get to all your takes here in a second. Okay? GT, I believe we're going to sing on Tuesday. I think that's going to be singing day when Big Sills has to pay one of his receipts off. I want to do this. I want to go to the takeaways first in what I saw. By the way, congratulations on doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat teams like Washington up. I mean, don't act like it's a big deal. Act like you're a champion. That's expected. If you're going to act like a champion and talk like a champion, then you have to be a champion. Champions don't start taking victory laps after beating the Washington Commanders. I mean, really, congratulations for doing what you're supposed to do. Beat shitty teams. I mean, seriously, dude. The reason why people are having such a tough time today when it comes to talking about what they saw on Sunday, what do you want? A medal? A merit badge? You beat a team that you're supposed to beat. Congratulations to you. Washington is just like I said on Friday. They're a shitty team. They've got some players. Their 2 DTs are good. O-line's the worst in the league. Okay? I mean, quite frankly, it's a great performance, and I'm going to explain to you why it was a great performance, but not anything more where I'm talking about contract extensions, MVP conversations. I do believe Jalen is in that conversation. I'm going to get to all of this, I promise. I thought the defense played really well. Josh Sweat, too, was awesome. He was all over the field. Brandon Graham, probably the best game I've seen him play since I've been covering the team. TJ Edwards is your best football player on the field. When it comes to that defensive side of the ball, TJ Edwards is your best tackler and your best player. He is consistent every freaking week. From the Lions game to what you saw on Sunday, and that kid was undrafted, that is absolutely spectacular. He is the best player on your defense. Great. 9 sacks in the ball game. They did exactly what we thought they would to that Washington team. Washington has a lot of holes on it. And when you have a lot of holes on it, there's no question. Wentz has to have people around him like every other quarterback in today's NFL. If you don't have talented people and great people around you, there is no way of succeeding. And there's a lot of holes in Washington. The decision to get rid of Trent Williams is ridiculous and now playing itself out. And there's no doubt Washington is a bottom feeder. That is a bad football team. They can't get out of their own way. And by the way, for the record, again, congratulations on doing what you're supposed to do. Kick the shit out of bad teams. Stop taking your foot off the gas pedal in the second half, it's going to bite you. They should have beat that team by 50. Great teams never let off the gas pedal. Keep stepping on that. You may not know at the end of the year if points are going to be something that they're going to take into consideration with Dallas when it comes to winning the NFC East. Pound that team. Beat that team up. Let them know the next time when they play at Lincoln Financial, you're going to get the same thing. You're going to kick the shit out of them. Don't like the let up in the second half. Jalen Hurts, and now it's time for Jalen. Let me get to some of the stats that in the ball game here. Let me say this to you. I thought Jalen played spectacular football. He's so smart. He is a guy who is developing in front of our eyes right now. He's getting better and better and better. I heard Sean Payton say this morning. 2 years ago, you went like this about Jalen Hurts. Hey, he's just a good player. He's another dude. But he is totally getting better. You can see it in how he approaches the game and the calm and the poise he has in the pocket. Okay? You can see it. He is clearly right now getting better. And he's getting better as a leader in the huddle. The whole thing is just you're watching a player getting better and better and better in development. Now, the big question for the Eagles is going to be, do you want to pay for that? Remember when Carson Wentz was 11-2 and everyone thought he was the future of the team? Before you start throwing cash out, there's got to be significant moments, in my opinion, where then you open up the checkbook. We're going to get to that, I promise you, here in a minute, and your takes. Because beating Detroit, beating Minnesota, probably the most significant win, and beating Washington, you're 3-0. I thought you'd get out of the gate slow because of the way you prepared for the season. Quite frankly, I'm impressed with the way that the Eagles are not being threatened, not by the opponents you're playing. What I like so far and what my takeaway outside of the Lions game, they've controlled the last 8 quarters of football. I mean, and it's not close. Nobody's threatened them. It's impressive. When you can have a game and have an opponent by his throat, okay? The Eagles have not been threatened in the last 8 quarters of football. They just have not been threatened. The defense stepped up. We're going to get to all of this. Devonta Smith was special. He was special. Holy cow. Can that guy go up and get it? And can that guy run a route? And I'll tell you what, man, if you think you're going to use the sideline, he'll outrun you on that sideline. That guy, you could put him on a tightrope, and he's going to run down that tightrope. That kid was special in that ball game, man. He was special. He is some ball player. When you watch him in open space, tell you what, man. Hey, and AJ is helping him in the process because AJ's getting a lot of the double teams that you see when we're talking about his ability to get open here. The teams that they've played combined are 4-5. So again, here's my position once again will be this. Well, okay, let's continue. Next one up is a very improved Jags team. They might win that division, actually. Jacksonville just might win their division. Doug Peterson has done an amazing job. An amazing job with the Jaguars. That's going to be interesting. Do I think the Jags have a shot? Not really. Here's 2 stats to think about with the Eagles and what they've done so far. The Eagles right now averaging 8.5 yards per play, number 1 in the league. The Eagles are allowing 4.1 yards per pass. That's the fewest in the league. They're getting it done on both sides of the football. Early part of the season. My takeaway has been that's the way to start a season. That's a way to start something and to start to pour the foundation of what could be something special. As your schedule gets a little bit more difficult, you're going to start looking again at how this team continues to improve. Remember something. I don't want the Philadelphia Eagles to be great in September and October. I want the Eagles to be great in December and January and February. That's when you want them to be at their top. That's when you want them playing their best ball. Okay? Now, here's the question here. As you go forward here, and people keep looking, was there any bitches that you had for that game on Sunday? And quite frankly, after the first 3 games, the only thing you can bitch about is the schedule. Not really played anybody, except for Minnesota. I'm not going to come here, 2 weeks after that I talked about Minnesota being Minnesota. They snuck away and got a win. I think it was against Detroit over the weekend. I'm not going to say that all of a sudden they're a bad team. That's not where I'm going here. 2 of the 3 teams, we'll see what Detroit does. Dan Campbell cost him that football game, by the way, against Minnesota. Poor coaching cost him that football game. So it's a great start. You now have 3 games. That's a trend. And you're starting to see this trend. There's no question that the defense is getting better. There's no question that Jalen Hurts is getting better. And you're starting to see the players comfortable in this new system. Let's get over to some of the calls here and some of the people that are chiming in here. Seriously, did you forget the entire context? Jalen, 31 passing TDs, 43. I'm talking about this year. Detroit will make the playoffs. They will not. Okay? They will not make the playoffs. Nell says the best team in the NFC. Maybe. I'm happy with the 3-0 start, says Dank, but it's not enough. Not satisfied until we lift that Lombardi. 2-4, I'm wrong. Okay? I'm wrong. As much as I don't want the Giants 3-0, I'd rather that than the Cowboys be 2-1. Fat Mattress, I agree with that take. You probably want the Giants to win that ball game because what you're hoping is that the Cowboys are so far out of it by the time you guys play on the 16th week that you don't even want them in the conversation. So more losses early would be better. And take the Giants, they'll run out of gas. That's not real. That's fool's gold. That 3-0, no, that 2-0, I don't believe in the Giants. I think they're better, but I don't think they're significantly better. Sec 1 says, Dan, I asked about no points in the second half of the Viking game. Now 2 in a row. What do you think? Nothing. Just letting off the gas a little bit. Hey, Dominique, I'm not wrong about it. You're right after 3 weeks. That's all you get out of me with that. Are you out of your mind? 3 weeks. Really? Hey, didn't you learn a lesson from Carson Wentz after you gave him that gigantic contract when he was 11-2, playing MVP football, and then he shit the bed? Relax. Let it play out. Let the kid play it out. Win some games that are significant. Beat Dallas. I'm saying the same stuff right now that I've been saying about Dak Prescott, and I'm turning out to be right about Prescott. People were like, pay him, pay him. I'm like, I'm not paying that guy $45 million. And I think if Jerry Jones had to do that all over again, he wouldn't pay him $45 million. Okay? Again, look at all-around auto service. You played against a shitty Washington team, guy. You want a medal for that? Great teams don't look at it that way. Great teams go, hey, we're on now to Jacksonville. You're supposed to beat that team up. I'm watching that, and I'm like, as we thought how it would play out. We thought the whole thing would play itself out that way. I thought it'd be a tad bit closer. I thought it'd be 31-20. Okay? Dallas is a non-factor. You haven't beaten them in 3 years. All right, let me do this now. After 3 weeks, do you truly believe Jalen Hurts can win you a Super Bowl? You think mobile quarterbacks in this league can win Super Bowls? Yes or no? I don't. I'm going to have to be convinced of it. I just do not believe it because you don't have a high ceiling. Ask RG3, Cam Newton, Michael Vick, all those guys. Those guys their careers did not last long. You don't last long. And I think that's part of the problem that you have with Lamar Jackson's deal. Lamar Jackson, I put this out there. I think Lamar Jackson's going to break the bank. But can that guy win a Super Bowl? The question will be, and right now he's the MVP of the league. There's nobody close to what he's doing. Nothing. He's amazing watching him play. 2 straight games, 4 touchdown passes, over 100 yards rushing. I mean, he's carrying that football team. And I don't even know who he's throwing the ball to. He is something else. But again, can that style win a Super Bowl? I completely still have my doubts on that because I haven't seen it yet. Russell Wilson is not Jalen Hurts, and he's not Lamar Jackson. That is not who that guy is. And by the way, he's finished. Have you watched Russell Wilson play? That guy's just about done. He was terrible yesterday. And the media's trying to make excuses for him. He was terrible. He was terrible in that 49er game. Okay? Mojo says, first time for everything, Sills. I agree, Mo. Hey, by the way, I want to make this point, Mo, about Jalen. He is completely getting better. And you're seeing him getting better. You're seeing this kid watching him progress in front of your eyes. I'm not saying he's not getting better. I don't think he can win a Super Bowl with that style. I just do not. And there is a first time for everything. Okay? Big Sills, get ready to admit you were horribly wrong about Jalen Hurts. Well, we got about 14 more weeks of that before we do that. Okay? And again, so get this. That's a significant thing that Xander just said. Barely ran yesterday, was throwing the ball all over. That's what you want to see him getting better. That's why I'm saying he's getting better. It's because he's running the ball less. That, to me, is a sign of progress in the passing game. I told you that after 3 weeks is something that we wanted to see whether or not he was going to improve that part of his game. Running less, okay? Running less and passing more. And he's doing that. He went over 300 yards. Like I said, he's totally getting better. There is no question about it. Okay? Can Josh Allen win a Super Bowl with his style? He throws for 400 yards. And he's got a better arm. And he's 6'5". I mean, Josh Allen is better. You're not comparing Jalen Hurts to Josh Allen, are you? Wow. That is a reach. Okay? That is a reach. And by the way, I think Josh Allen, they're going to kill him too. If they don't get him help in running the ball, they're going to kill that guy too. Just the same way Washington killed RG3. You don't have a lifeline that long when you run the ball. And again, Xander made a great point. He didn't run as much yesterday. And guys, excuse me if I'm only 3 games into this. Before we start talking, I am not paying Jalen Hurts $46.1 million after 3 weeks. That is not happening. You have won games to get you in a position to have everyone looking at your football team on something we said 4 months ago. I said it 4 months ago. The Eagles were going to be in the NFC title game. And here you are. And you're debating me on whether or not I think your team is good. I'm the one that came out and said 4 months ago that your football team was going to make it to the NFC Championship. Relax. Pump the brakes. Easy. Okay? Easy. 3 weeks in. Brian, it's not a good start. It's a great start. It's a great start. Okay? Seals, you're a genius. The more you talk about Jalen, can't do it, the more the Eagle fans watch your show. I'm not trying. Hey, this is not by design. This is my feelings on this. Okay? Does this guy really believe anything that comes out of his mouth? Absolutely. Because you're only 3 weeks into it. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I'm completely believing what I'm doing here. If I had a snowball, I'd throw it at you. Thank you. Okay? It's not about 3 weeks. It's about progression. Really? Well, I didn't think much of last year. I thought it was decent, not great. I wouldn't go, that was a super year last year that the quarterback had. I mean, 16 touchdowns, 3,100 yards. It's not really a great year. Eagle fans did take over FedEx, man. Hey, and by the way, real quick, Carson Wentz, boy. Whew. If he doesn't have a football team around him, he is in serious trouble. I mean, that thing, those yardage numbers that he had at the end of the game had no bearing on anything. The Eagles completely beat the hell out of that football team and him. 9 sacks. Pat, sack. Pat, sack. Pat. Hey, by the way, some guys that stood out, Josh Sweat, like I said, Brandon Graham. I thought Reddick for the first time, we said it on Friday, dog, if you can't be a factor in a game against that O-line, you'll never be. And he was. It was better. I still didn't think, I don't know, Sweat and Graham, Fletcher, I'm going to get to Fletcher here too. Okay? I'm going to get to Fletcher here because Fletcher deserves it. But Reddick, I'm still not impressed with Reddick. Reddick doesn't impress me. He doesn't impress me as a player. I think he's fair. I think he's probably like the 5th or 6th or 7th best guy in that starting unit. He doesn't impress me. Okay? Reddick doesn't impress me. Okay? He doesn't. One game shows up. I thought he was decent. I wouldn't go like this. He was great. Okay? And Xander said something yesterday. Okay? When he stands out there on the field, he looks like a punt returner. He's just not impressive. Now, I'll tell you who's been impressive the last 2 weeks, Fletcher Cox, and on a short work week. Kudos. I said he was finished. Playing great ball. Great ball. You know what? And again, as I say this to you, you're supposed to kill that team. Well, he did what he was supposed to do. He was a factor in the middle of that defense. Hargrave, too, by the way. Both those guys get kudos. They beat that lineup horrifically. The center and the 2 dudes beat up the 2 guards and the center. Anytime 2 beats 3, you win the ball game. And they beat the shit out of that interior of the Washington Commander O-line. Fletcher's playing really good ball right now. Again, older player. It's 3 weeks. Let's see how this is when they get to the bye and see if everybody's still playing on all cylinders. The trend looks good. As I told you, 3 weeks are a trend, my friends. Okay, 3 weeks. You keep every 3 weeks, you add something to the mix here. But to Fletcher, I said this, that he shouldn't be in the starting lineup. Okay? Here, I want to show you guys something here, just so you know that you guys call me a troll. Xander found this, And this was months ago when we were talking. I think Xander probably has the date on it here. And this is when I said that the Eagles were going to the NFC
Am I
Championship
over the line
game.
here?
I have predicted the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC. You know this is going to get national headlines. As soon as Xander posts this is going to be all over the place. I'm predicting the Eagles to win the East, and I'm predicting them to win the NFC and get to Glendale. Xander, what date was that? Joe goes, that's a voiceover. Oh, man. What date was that? Here, Xander's got me here. May 20th. Okay. May 20th, I said that. I picked them May 20th to win the NFC. Deep fake. I made that today. Yeah, right. Okay. Not admitting nothing. It's week 3, JB. I love you guys, man. Wow. Who cares? You say this, save you from your awful takes, criticizing. What do you mean criticizing? I want you to be better, jackass. Okay? Same shirt. I wear it every day. That does look weird, though, doesn't it, Xander? You a hater. Okay. Here, by the way. No. You want to hear it? I'll say it again. I'm not paying Jalen Hurts $46.1 million. Not yet. How about this? Just so you know, do I want to pay him? Yes. But will I pay him? You really think Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman are going to pay Jalen Hurts $46.1 million? Do you really think that? Okay? Do you think they're going to never happen? Never happen. And Jalen's why should Jalen take a discount? For what? Why should he take a discount? I don't want him to take a discount. What's your alternative on paying Hurts? Try to keep him around. Okay? And let me tell you why I would like to do it this way. I would pay him, I would sign him to a 3-year contract. And if I was Jalen, I'd want to be on a 3-year contract. Fully guaranteed. Why would I want that? Because I guarantee you the Eagles are going to franchise tag him. They're not going to give him a contract. They'd rather pay him the tag and then work a deal out with him. Guarantee you they franchise tag him. They're not going to pay him $46 million. They're wanting, how about this? I will make this point to you. I think they're somewhat sold on him. The question now is, how much is it going to cost them? How much is it going to cost them? Because now you know what you got to start doing? You keep pumping them up. You keep pumping them up. You keep pumping them up. You know, the agents got total recall. They're going to start putting all these headlines in front of Howie and the owner going, well, you said this about him. Well, you said this about him. Well, you said this about him. Oh, yeah. Well, you said he's the unbelievable leader. And all those things, like you guys have receipts for me, those are going to cost the owners. That's going to cost Howie. And when you start paying that guy, other guys go. You got to start depleting your football team. You don't pay wide receivers $25 million and quarterbacks $50 million. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Okay? Dan, I don't remember the Eagles ever tagging. Really? They don't franchise tag anyone? Wow. Never happened, Richie. They'll never pay Jalen Hurts $50 million a year. No way whatsoever on the planet will they pay him that. No way. I don't know how they're going to do something. I don't know how they're going to negotiate this. I really don't. Because I don't believe that ownership group is going to pay him that money. Nope. Then Howie gets his salary cap then is destroyed. You're paying one guy a third of the cap. One guy for a $240 million payroll. That's going to get to probably 218. Maybe 2 something. You're going to have to make significant cuts. You know, when you pay a guy like that, you're going to have to pay the piper. Okay? Super Bowl winning quarterbacks get paid. I don't believe it's going to get to that, but we'll see. Really, Garoppolo didn't. He got the team there. Super Bowl quarterbacks get paid. You're right. Joe Flacco got paid, and then the Ravens got ripped apart. The Chiefs, it reared its head in that Colts game. No Tyreek Hill. Tyreek's now down in Miami. And I told you, did I not, that the Dolphins were going to upset the Bills? And they did. 4 starters out for Buffalo probably played a significant factor in that. But the Heat, I knew that was going to play out like that. You see my boy Ken Dorsey throwing his headsets? I said, hey, man, what's up, man? Okay. Big Sills, your thoughts on Tua. I'll get to Tua. Again, here's the thing with Tua. Here's a component, though, that Jalen doesn't have. He got dinged up again. Got banged up. It's only week 3. Dude, you can't be paper mache in this league. That's one thing Jalen's not. He's not paper mache. That dude, in my opinion, in Miami, will he make the question will be, will Tua Tagovailoa make the year? There's even a question mark on how they put, okay, and how they put him back in the ball game. Okay? So I'll give again, am I sold that Tua is the answer in Miami? Are you sold? Here's my problem with Tua. Durability. Durability is a problem for the kid. It's been a problem since he was at Alabama. Tagovailoa has a durability issue. Okay, he does. He's in and out of the lineup, and that's not going to be something that the owners are going to sit there and go, you know what? Lamar Jackson's going to be on the open market. Maybe we go after that guy. With those weapons, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, maybe that's something that you go after Lamar Jackson with. Because to me, the problem is, here, I'll make this point to you. If Tua doesn't make the season and he's out significant time, Tagovailoa is not the guy in Miami. But Sills, he's really good. I get it. But you got to be there on Sundays. Jalen's there on Sundays. That's the one thing that Jalen has prepared himself for that Tua can't, is that this kid has prepared his body for the rigors of playing in the NFL. And what Xander said, too, what was important, get this, guys, he didn't run that much against Washington. Do you know how much that saves him? Because I'll tell you something about that Jags team. That Jags team is going to hit him. That Jags defense, that kid from Georgia, that Walker kid, is freaking unbelievable. He is a ball player. I watched that Charger game. They beat them up defensively. They could get after you, man. That Jags team's good, man. I mean, I don't think it might be close. They might win the division. I think Doug's done a remarkable job with Trevor Lawrence, too. Remarkable job with Trevor Lawrence. Over the top. Kudos to Doug right now is the front runner, in my opinion. After 3 weeks, if you guys want to start talking MVP, 3 weeks in, Doug Peterson is the NFL's coach of the year so far in what he's accomplished. Shut out that Colts team that just beat the Chiefs. And now you're sitting first place in your division. Kudos to Doug, man. Good job. Nice job of coaching. Nice job of putting people in right positions. Doug's doing a great, great job with that Jags team. Okay? That game was close in the opener. That game was close. They had to come from behind Washington. That kid Walker can play in Jacksonville. We're going to see him. We're going to see him this weekend. So, again, man, hey, look, guys, I want to make it very clear one more time. And I want you guys to get, and I want you guys to understand this. Do I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better? I've been telling you since May that this team is the deepest team in the NFC, and I wholeheartedly agree. The defense is improving, okay? Jalen is improving. You don't get merit badges for beating Washington, though. You get merit badges for winning your division. You get merit badges for winning playoff games. You get Super Bowl rings when you win the Super Bowl. That's where this conversation is going to. And I'll tell you something. You're now talking about Super Bowls in NFC East. There's a fine line between that and being common. So when we talk about these things, and some of you go, what do you think of Jonathan Gannon now? It's 3 weeks. He's had 2 good ones. No question. Okay? But Washington, sorry, guy. Sorry. You did what you were supposed to. You beat a shitty team up. To sit here and, oh my God, man. Hey, the Eagles, congratulations. You were never threatened in that ball game. The coin toss was the only thing that game was close at. It was the coin toss to open the game. Okay? That's as close as it was. I watched that game and I went like this. They were never threatened. I never thought that the Commanders were coming back. You know, in the Detroit game, I actually did. Okay? Last week, you were like, Wentz is throwing for 400. I thought he would. Congratulations. I'm wrong. It's more fun to watch them when they're kicking ass. Yeah, that's always a good thing when you're watching somebody beat the shit out. They were Hey, that front seven had a day that you ride home to mom about, man. Okay? Look at this guy. You mad? I'm mad. I'm not mad at anything. I'm glad. You're wrong a lot. No, I'm not wrong a lot. Not wrong a lot. It's 3 weeks, guys. It's 3 weeks. It's 3 weeks. Relax. Oh my God. I want you like that, though. I do. You should get your energy up and all that going. Oh, man, isn't it? Oh, it's wonderful. I love when people get like that. Oh, man, just don't fall off the cliff. Just make sure you don't fall off the cliff. How about Middle Tennessee? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. They were beyond outclassed. But Washington's terrible right now. Okay? Division win. True. Okay? True. Let's see us do this to the Tampa defense. Never happened. Okay? Big Sills, your predictions have sucked. Really? After 3 weeks, you've won, right, Joseph? Man, congratulations to you. Here, I'll just give you the Lombardi trophy now. Here you go. Oh, my God. We beat Washington. Why do I feel like that? We beat Washington. Okay? It's like beating up a little kid next door. Hey, you know that kid that keeps hollering at night? I went out there and smacked the shit out of him. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Congratulations to you, man. See you in February. Whoa. Okay. What will you be wrong about this week? Hey, Michael, you got to love people, man. But you want everybody to be up and excited, and they are. Everyone's. Hey, by the way, Terry Bradshaw, he said that the Eagles have their guy. He's sold. Okay? Yeah, well, look at what somebody said. The Commanders, they beat the Jags. Okay? Yeah, okay. But remember something. That Charger team beat the shit out of you last year. Just put that in perspective. Okay? And they beat the hell out of the Chargers. Beat the hell out of them. I watched it. Okay? Yeah, well, they crushed the Chargers, and the Chargers crushed you. Okay? Different year. Oh, of course. Herbert's not impressive. He's got broken ribs. Jesus Christ. That game was close against the Chargers, 38-17. Yeah, that's close. Maybe in Philly. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, what was the game? What was it? It was 38-10. That's come on, Xander. Throwing a little sugar in there. Big Sills. I love you, man. Oh. Big Sills might have to come to Philly for the Cowboy game. We may have to blow this thing out, man. So I could see some of you guys face to face, and you guys could talk shit to me face to face. You think we'd have a crew? I think we would. Hurts QB rating. Look at that, man. 108. Oh, God, is he killing it. Look at James. This dude. Oh, man. Yeah, Xander goes like this. Them dudes ain't coming to see Big Sills. Not working. We'll be there. Brian, really? Hey, Brian, you really show up, man? That'd be great. Chargers did not beat us bad like you claim. I know, Steve-O. Don't get all butthurt. It was by a field goal. I get it. Okay? Yeah, that game was really close. And the Jags crushed them 38-10. Beat them by 38-10. They crushed them. Okay? You love to hate on the Eagles, don't you? How can I hate on the Eagles when I got you winning the NFC? How is that hating? How am I hating? What I'm trying to do is temper your expectations here. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. Will the Jags be a trap? I don't. That Eagle team, they play within themselves. They're playing really great. I can't think that they're a football team that does this. It's the Jags. That don't look like that. That's not the way they've been performing the last couple weeks. They're not playing like that. They're just going to have some shit game. They had a short work week on a Monday night, and they had to travel to D.C., and they got it done convincingly. Okay? Okay? Actually, I'm not bashing the Eagles. I'm not sure where you see it. All I'm saying is you guys are raving after 3 games. I'm like, well, I think you got to relax here a tad bit before you start sitting here with the parade going up Broad Street. You might want to relax a little. Oh, man. Don't forget, Gary Cobb's going to join us. All right, I got to do this. Reddick, I want to hit on Reddick. Top of the hour, we're going to talk about week 3 of the NFL. God, there's so much to hit on here. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Doug Peterson, Fletcher Cox again. There's a lot of great things to hit on here. Big Sills, I love you, man, but you're not invited to none of the Super Bowl parties. Don't worry, Jeb. It's all good. All right. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Don't forget my friends at Morgan & Morgan, too, where the fee is free. Means this: they don't get paid unless you do. For the past 30 years, they have represented their clients to the best of their ability to where they have collected over $13.5 billion for their clients. Incredible what they have done. Over 800 attorneys and offices in Philadelphia, New York, and in Florida makes them the biggest law firm in the country when it comes to protecting your family's rights. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, you tell them Big Sil sent you.
Many times when people are injured at a place of business, they don't realize they may have a case. The fact is, injuries should not happen. And most of the time when someone is injured, someone is at fault. Maybe the store manager installed a cheap, slippery floor, or there wasn't proper security. After an injury at a hotel, restaurant, store, or any place of business, it's so important to call us. Time matters, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.